At stake when you were with the Spurs or any of the teams. Talk about some of the epic conference rivalries you played in.
Well, I always go back to playing against the Phoenix Suns in the 7 seconds or less Steve Nash-led teams, along with Amari Stoudemire, and what Mike D'Antoni was introducing to the game back in 2005, 2006, which, by the way, Kevin, everybody's doing now.
Right, yeah.
But tremendous talent on the court at that time, tremendous disparity in style of play, and watching Steve Nash during MVP years trying to conduct his team against the vaunted Spurs. Fantastic, incredibly competitive matches.
And a lot of speed. I mean, it was eye-opening to watch.
And it was the Spurs trying to catch up. So how are we going to do the rock'em sock'em game against the 7 seconds or less? We kind of took care of it.
Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Chris Paul is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Dort in at the 3. The shot's good from Paul.
And off the schneid here, 1 of 5, but that's a big one.
Morant kicks to Winslow. That 3 off the mark. The Thunder have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. And for the Thunder, a lot of the assistant coaches leaving this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
Possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking.
For Oklahoma City, their last game was a loss to the Utah Jazz. The shot by Paul, no good.
I'm not sure where the lack of focus comes in there, Kevin. That's not like him. The defense is close, but there's enough space to score.
A nice shot by Winslow.
You see the court awareness Morant has. Outstanding at keeping his teammates involved with good looks.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. With an average of around 19.5 points a game, his scoring has been a constant for them. Here's Winslow. Pass to Morant. Here's Valanciunas. Pass to Winslow. 6 to shoot. Brooks outside. Here's Jackson. And Adams sends it back.
Well, he can be intimidating. Steven Adams, such a big frame down there, and great timing on that block.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group. Schroeder against Jones. And that one's good. Schroeder.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
I don't think he sees any kind of defense when he's at that range. It doesn't matter who's guarding him.
Grizzlies have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
So he gets them both.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
30 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, if you read the scouting report on Schroeder, he likes to get into the basket as close as possible because he's usually good from there.
Now here's Jones. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game.
That's the only kind of defense that's going to cut the mustard here tonight. You got to stay on top of a guy like that who can play at such a high level offensively.
Here's Schroeder. Again, Oklahoma City.
And such a strong offensive player. Schroeder is capable of knocking down some mid-range shots if you give him some room.
And that does it for the first quarter. Thunder lead by 5. Live from the FedEx Forum. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Well, their effort on the defensive end has set the tone for this game.
Yeah, defense has been infectious here as everybody stepping up aggressively on that end.
Clark is out there with Anderson. Then it's Jones. And it's Melton in at the shooting guard position. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. Schroeder against Jones. It's Schroeder with the drive. Tries yet again. That's tipped.
Well, this is where measurements don't tell the whole story. Clark is a tremendous shot blocker despite having an average wingspan. changing ends quickly. He's rewarded with a high percentage look.
Yeah, the defense trying to do their best to slow him down, but when he gets room like that, you got to look out.
Jones against Schroeder. Back to Noel. Schroeder, right side. Off target with his three. Memphis trailing here. Here's Jones. And the layup's good off the glass. You know, so many great dribblers, ball handlers in this league right now. Who's the best at shooting off the bounce?
Well, three prime candidates to do that, Kevin, exist at the point guard position, and I put James Harden in the point guard category with how much he has the ball. Harden, Kyrie, Steph Curry, three great names that are able to find their way to get the ball into the shooting pocket. No matter where they move off the dribble, finding consistency. It's a really sought-after attribute in the players who are coming up now because of how impactful these guys have been.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Noel. Gallinari comes in for Mike Muscala. Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in for Diallo. And it's Paul in for Dennis Schroeder. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
And a quick review looking at some numbers here for Adams. He's averaging 11 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he's been a rock in the middle for them over that stretch of games. Dominating the glass is his trademark.
Feel like those rebounds are wearing down and eroding the opponent. His effort right now, physically and mentally, has been good.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
They get it back. Jackson passes to Morant over Paul. And that one, no good to start him off on the night. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Misses from short range.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
Oh, the lob to Gallinari. Stolen by Brooks. One-on-one here. 7-second difference. Shot and game clock. The Grizzlies with another miss. The Thunder with the lead. Gallinari finds Paul. 15 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Clock at 6. From the arc. No good that time. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. It's the Thunder up by 1. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, you guys shot a great percentage in the first half, but still a tight game. What do you think's causing that?
All right, who's been getting it done is Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that the league can do to slow him down. He's just that good.
Yeah, avalanche warning in this one. He is just on a roll.
So for Oklahoma City right now, Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Chris Paul. And it's Dort in at the 3 spot. Well, the Grizzlies' coaching search took 2 months. But they finally settled on Taylor Jenkins, a former assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jenkins, with an economics degree from Penn, fits the young academic profile of this Memphis front office. Worked for the Spurs 6 years as an assistant under Mike Budenholzer, who was the coach of the year in 2019. That pedigree helped him get the job.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And purely from a physical standpoint, Ja Morant has it all. The height, the long arms, the frame to put on more weight. And few players are more explosive athletically.
And with Morant, you not only get the physical attributes, Greg, you get the mental toughness and awareness.
Yeah, this kid loves to compete. The bigger the game, the bigger he plays. I think we're looking at a potential all-NBA performer when it's all said and done.
Back to Paul. Shoots from 14, and that one off the back of the rim and in. Paul's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Well, that's a sweet spot for Paul. That zone between the arc and the paint might be his favorite. A career 50% 2-point shooter.
Oklahoma City leading by 3. Dort passes to Gilgeous-Alexander.
You know, altered shots don't show up on the official stat sheet, but as we saw there, he does a great job of doing that as well as collecting the rebound.
Well, this is where we talk about Morant's versatility. He can work off the ball because he's worked so hard on that jumper.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City. Each year, so many coaching changes. Brent, do you feel they generally get too much blame when things go wrong?
I don't know if blame is the word, Kevin. That's just the easy out for a lot of organizations that want to make some changes. The main thing that's frustrating, I think, for the coaching fraternity is patience. You have to be realistic about the potential of your team and how much time it takes to grow what it is that coach's culture is all about. That's where teams sometimes lose out and give up on somebody a little bit early.
But these guys go into it eyes wide open.
Oh, there's no question about it. And really good coaches in the NBA know that it might not last all that long. So they're going to be who they are. That's who you want to hire. Hire a coach who knows exactly who he is, both coming in the door and walking away.
Melton, no good. And so it's Schroeder with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They lead by 1. 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Back to Noel. Over Clark. The Thunder with another miss.
Well, the defense was right up on him, so electing to go for the fadeaway there to create some room, well, that makes sense.
23 seconds left to play in the third. Lets a floater go, and it's finished off by Schroeder as he lays it in. Schroeder's got the game tied up here for the Thunder. Now Jones. He's got 5. Passes it to Anderson. The shot, no good.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
It's a tie game in Memphis. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Yeah, sometimes that's what can separate some of the best players, not just creating for yourself, but creating for others as well.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt. Clark is out there with Kyle Anderson, and it's Jackson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Yeah, Nerlens Noel, since coming into the league, seemingly has fought an uphill battle to try to find a role on a team where he can consistently make key contributions. Let's hope it's now. Well, with his touch from mid-range, Kevin, that's almost always good. That won't shake his confidence.
To the paint. Very pretty alley-oop layup. Noel's got the lead up to 5 now for the Thunder.
And this is the effort you want to see out of your guys, win or lose.
A great example out here of just a no-quit team continuing to compete until the final buzzer.
And they've done some nice work as we've come down the stretch here in the final quarter.
And right now is when you have to lay it on the line. Between the two teams, they've clearly been the aggressor.
To the left wing, Paul with the steal. And here we go, fast break. Paul's got it. And that one's good. Schroeder. And it's a 9-point Thunder lead.
And right now, they're just focused on putting together good possessions.
Yeah, that's exactly how they got the lead. They ended up having multiple possessions in a row with good quality shots, knocked them down, and the game is fully in their control.
Out to the right wing. Paul with the 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Valanciunas dishes to Morant. Three-pointer, Brooks. Here's Valanciunas. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Valanciunas hits them both. 1:21 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Now here's Paul. Defense is right there. Wide open look. And Valanciunas pulls it down.
He loved to make them pay for giving up that wide open jumper, just unable to do so.
Outside for Jackson. Winslow, the pass to Brooks. Yes! And now they trail by just 4.
Yeah, there's a good indicator of Winslow and his feel for the game. I like how much he makes a concentrated effort to get the ball right there to the open man.
Paul left side. Here's George. Back to Paul. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots over Morant. Paul can't get it to go.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Winslow kicks to Valanciunas. Back to Winslow. Here's Morant. And a miss there on the triple. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And an intentional foul right there.
That's his second personal foul. Shooting for Oklahoma City, Chris Paul. 2 shots.
2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5.
Well, at this point in his career, Chris Paul is all about trying to get that elusive championship. Will play whatever role it takes to get that mission done.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Yeah, that'll ice it right there. Not everybody can keep their composure at the line in such a big situation.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're trailing by 6. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
There's still a sliver of hope.
Yeah, act fast, but without mistakes.
Morant passes to Jackson. Trying to find Valanciunas. Gets it to him. And here's Brooks from outside. Gilgeous-Alexander pulls it in. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
That's his second personal foul. Shooting for Oklahoma City, Shai Gilgeous. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
Well, Gilgeous-Alexander, such an intriguing prospect coming out of Kentucky. I can't wait to watch in a new system how it is that he starts to understand and develop further his offensive play.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. They're down by 8. 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
Trying to keep hope alive, but I don't see them making a comeback.
Yeah, this is the classic too little, too late. The effort coming and not enough time for them to get back in it.
So we see the Thunder get the win here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time